guys, welcome back to my channel, JMB, that's me. Last night I stayed at one of my best friend's house. As you can see, my hair is not done, but I saw her bookshelf and I wanted to do just a quick 5-minute video on my reviews on some of her books that she had here, just because I think it's fun to look at what other people are reading and to see if I read them and see if I like them. So stick around and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos of me just talking about books and talking about life. The first book that I saw was Romeo and Juliet. If any of you haven't read it before, it's my favorite Shakespeare book, which I've read all of his works. I know everyone says that it's like, oh, it's not true love or whatever. No, this book is so good. Just the way that he talks and the way that he writes their love, even though they are young, it's just very true. It just feels very real. I would highly recommend this one. The other book that I saw was The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Now, for any of you who haven't read it, basically most of my book recommendations are good. I really love reading. You can give me pretty much any book and I would give it a good review. But The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn has a special place in my heart, especially if you guys read Tom Sawyer as well. Huckleberry Finn, my sister would read to me every night. It's just the funnest adventure of two boys who run away on the river, and very good end of summer adventure book that you could probably finish in a day. It's like 300 pages. It's really good. I did not like this book. This is matched. It got so many good reviews when I was in school and I read it. The dialogue is terrible. Don't come at me if you loved this book. I know that a lot of people did. The world building was cool to me. I didn't feel like it had a lot of substance behind why the society was set up the way it was. It just kind of was like they expected you to just kind of take it as it was. But the main character was kind of cool. That's matched. What was another one? My best friend, she reads in Spanish. I do not. This is A Fault in Our Stars. This book destroyed me, as I'm sure it did many of you. Honestly, I think I liked his other book, Looking for Alaska. It's been a long time since I've read either, but it was really good. If you haven't read it, or if you don't know anything about two kids who are going through cancer and they fall in love, and it's just really sweet, and you will cry. You will cry. But I think it's a good cry and it's worth it, so you should do it. Ray Bradbury. I can never say his last name. I always think it's Branbury. Anyway, this man knew how to write science fiction, y'all. Oh my gosh, literally one of the best science fiction writers of all time, which I think is saying something. If you've never read his, I think it's Looking for October. I'm gonna go find it and put it up here. That's my favorite one by him. It's just like a bunch of shorter and just more, you get to see a lot more of his work than this book, but this book is so good. There's a lot of reasons why it is required in a lot of American schools. Really good. I love science fiction. And it's so short. I wanted to do one more that I saw. My favorite story, other than Brandon Sanderson. The book is really long for me. I don't know why. I love Tolkien and his writing is just a little long. But his world building and his character building is my favorite. Has created some of the best stories I think ever written in the world. This is by far my favorite of his stories, is the third, other than maybe The Hobbit. This is Return of the King. If you are interested in Lord of the Rings and you've never read it, I would highly recommend, and I don't usually say this, but I would highly recommend going and just reading it on Audible. You'll get through it quicker. It'll be easier to follow along. It's kind of a rough read, I'm not gonna lie, but it's so good. The characters are fantastic. The world building is fantastic. It's just this grand sweeping story. It doesn't get too caught up in any one character, but it still connects very smoothly. He brings it to life just so fully. Like, if you want to just dive in and get lost in a world and never recover for how old am I, 21 years of your life? My parents used to read this to me when I was little. This is the book for you. Anyway, you guys, thanks for coming by and stopping on my morning book review of my friend's books. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and remember